Recording in progress.
And it looks like we've got a new face in the room, so would you mind introducing yourself, and then maybe we can go around and do the same.
It'd be great. I'm Rebecca Shaw-Quinones. Chelsea told me about the opening. I'm a big fan of public art, and I used to work downstairs at the county planning office. But now I'm up here for the public art board. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for being
It's great to be here.
And your name again?
Rebecca Shaw-Quinones. It's a hyphenated.
Shaw-Quinones, okay. Nice to meet you, Rebecca.
Well, I'm Chelsea. You know me a little bit from Nutcracker, and yeah, so I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to see you.
And I'm Helen.
Jeannie.
And my name's Amanda Reese.
Yeah, some of you look a little familiar. So
I'm Ramsey Balloon.
okay.
Max Hay.
I'm Bridget. I'm staff
Okay.
for the city, the facilities manager.
Okay.
Emily, we met. I'm also staff with facilities.
Awesome, Bea, glad to have you. So I guess we can move on to our first item would be minutes, and approving the minutes from the last meeting. I'm not sure if everyone's had a chance to kind of review these yet.
Yeah.
There is a typo in number 4. Clausen is spelled CLAWSEN.
Great.
Yes. House. I think you could just scroll a little bit further down whenever you can. All right, thank you. Keep scrolling a little bit. Really scroll a little bit more. All right. Besides changing Chip's last name, were there any other adjustments that anyone saw?
I move to approve the minutes.
Second. All right. Minutes approved with the one adjustment to Chip Clausen's last name.
Comes to me. Hello,
Sorry.
so I just wanted to pull this up real quick. We did get the signs for Centennial Real Momentum. So there they are.
Oh, yay! Ooh, now they just need a Memorial Park sign above
I
it.
know, right?
Oh, I wish they kind of would have put it where the pet waste goes. I think they would have just gotten rid of the pet waste, and that was the thought.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's something you can talk to the Parks Department about.
I could,
A release.
It might go up on deaf ears.
yeah, we actually, our maintenance guy installed them today, and he couldn't get me because I was in a meeting, so he wasn't sure where to put it.
Ah.
And he took the Centennial Park sign down.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, no.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
It's an ordeal, so.
Oh goodness. Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, and we also talked about, earlier today when this was happening, he sent us that picture about just getting our own pole
Yeah.
and making it separate, so. We may do, I mean, obviously the one pole doesn't have anything on it, but. So we'll look at maybe changing that out somewhere in the ground's not frozen.
Definitely. I think that's a great idea. But yeah, it looks like pet waste this way.
Yeah.
Just funny little things.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Emily. As far as the Lindale Tunnel Artist Selection, I want to give you an update on that. So the plan originally was to go to the admin meeting today, this is the most recent plan. And then to the commission meeting on Monday. So, that got pushed out. They had a very full agenda for today's meeting, hence why I'm not there right now. So we got pushed out to March 6th for the, Lindale Tunnel. And what I have at this point to do is to present, all of the submissions that we actually went through and voted on, and not just the top pick. They want to basically kind of just see more of what the options were before they make a decision. So there'll be a presentation on March 6th to them. I'll present to them the process that we used. Show them that top, I think it was 7. And then show them which one you guys recommend. And then it'll be up to them if they want to think about something else or just go straight to Monday's meeting with the approval of that artist. So that's the process that's been happening for that. The artist has been contacted by me, so he knows that it's gonna be up for vote on those dates. The rest of the artists have not been notified. Although I did get a phone call from one a couple of days ago inquiring about it, so I just told them about where we were. So I plan to email them all just to kind of give them an update on, that the artist will be approved on this date and that it's not finalized yet. Any questions about the Lindale Tunnel before I move on to the next?
For that March 6th meeting, would it be helpful at all to have a member of the committee there to say, to be able to say anything to why we made that decision?
Yeah, absolutely.
That it's making sense that we can kind of decide internally who might be available and stuff context. Yeah, I think I'm traveling, so maybe somebody else could. Yeah, that would be wonderful. What time's their city council?
The admin meeting on March 6th would be at 4 o'clock.
Be a tough time for me to make.
I think too, as long as just kind of one of us is there at least to kind of explain how we kind of got where we did, I think that could potentially be helpful if that's something that they would, yeah.
They're also really interesting meetings though, too, so if anybody hasn't been to one.
Do they also Zoom it?
And I know the sausage is made.
Yeah, I'm free. I'd love to go.
So you can be our representative?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go along too, it's. They've got enough chairs, I think.
Yes.
You can find chairs in the building. Yeah, anybody that's there, I'll introduce you and make sure that they know that they can speak directly to you as well. So,
Right.
yeah. Okay, so the next one is, and then the commission meeting following that would be on March 11th. That meeting starts at 5:30. Typically, the admin meeting will be used for them getting all the information and typically asking most of their questions. The commission meeting where they vote, it's usually typically pretty just doing the formal process of doing that vote publicly, but so I'm hoping no presentation is necessary that day, but the collaboration grant approval. So that also was on the agenda for the meeting today that also got pushed out to March 6th. However, because of the timeline and wanting to get this application out as soon as we can, we did have a meeting with the city manager to see if he felt that we could skip the whole admin meeting process. Because it is, one, it's already a budgeted amount, 2, it's a small amount. It's currently, I've sent it to the city attorney's office for her to review it. He felt that that was something that would be comforting if it doesn't go through that process. And then this week, the city clerk has her one-on-one meetings with each commissioner and the mayor. So she is showing it to them and basically explaining the process that we're wanting to use, how it's very similar to TIF, and hoping to just get their consensus that way. So hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have an answer from them if they feel like we can just go forward with it and skip the admin meeting on the sixth. If they're not, then we'll have to present that also at the meeting on the sixth. And we'd have to wait until then before we do anything with it. That one, we're not, unless the commission decides differently, not taking it to the full commission meeting. We're just looking for consensus and don't necessarily need a formal vote. So possibly by the end of this week, we'll know. Either way, we'll know at the end of this week if we have approval or if we need to wait till March 6th.
Well, thank you for the extra legwork on that.
Okay, that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
I do have one question just on a, kind of related to, you know, and I think it was in October when we presented our fiscal year 26 items to the commission. And I know we didn't really necessarily receive a kind of a consensus necessarily, and just wondering kind of where that's at, if that are things that are can still kind of move forward, or if that still needs to get, you know, approved,
Right.
or if it's just in the ether for the time being.
Yeah, so our understanding is that because we were the first, they still didn't quite grasp the concept of what we were asking for. So our plan is just to put it into budget as an ask through budget like normal. And then hopefully, at least it gave them a little bit of a push into the new direction for next year. They'll understand it a little bit better. And when we present budget this year, we'll talk about how at your annual meeting or annual presentation, you know, these are the things that HPAC, you know, presented, and that's why these are here in the budget today. So that's what we're looking at, and that process is working its way right now. So that'll be April and March and April.
Definitely. Awesome. Thank you for the update on that.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? What is the collaborative grant?
Yeah, so that is, I'm trying to think how to speak of it. So, well, in previous years, we've had, I think, was an amount up to, I think, $5,000 we were looking to allocate, and found like a way to kind of be able to leverage those funds, and city time is to find kind of someone to partner with to be able to kind of bring a project to fruition. So I believe some of the livery building windows were a community collaboration grant, and then we also, for the 6th Ward mural, that was a collaboration with the Rotary Club. And so we're trying to find like a new streamlined process to kind of make that more equitable for folks to then, you know, find those opportunities. And just with the way our budget process worked, you know, this is the kind of how we've kind of gotten to this point. And yeah, we're hoping that the application would then be live, say, you know, in the next few weeks, and then we would review applications at our next meeting.
And the applications are from the other organizations like the Rotary Club?
Yeah, or whatever
Okay.
organization or
Yeah.
or person or artist or team of artists.
Other funds to
Okay.
leverage their project.
Mhm.
So when, like, a few years ago, our budgeting process was different in that we had a set budget of like $10,000 that we could spend on public art. And we found that really limiting in terms of how much $10,000 can really buy. And so then we started kind of using those funds as like, well, how can we make this go further and like help other projects that are already in process to like bring those to completion and be involved while we build out our membership and then change the budget process. And so now we can kind of ask and propose differently, and so more funds are we can demonstrate the need better. And so, but we kind of wanted to keep that ability to like collaborate with other organizations or artists that are trying to do stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Did I do the
Yeah,
exact
absolutely.
same thing?
We know that's great. Thank you.
I might throw something in here too. This is not on the agenda, but because I just learned about it last night. But the BID has two $5,000 grants for facade improvements, and they're willing to match up to $5,000 or 50% of the cost of the project, whichever is smaller. And they want to get rid of that money right away. And I was thinking, oh, with our collaborative grants, maybe somebody wants to apply for both of them and they could get a lot done. But I think that's going to be limited to people who own buildings within the business district. Yeah. But that might be a powerful tool for somebody, maybe.
Yeah, that timing might work out.
We can do other than notify our artists or notify.
We could
anybody on the email
probably-
list to say, hey, look what you can do.
We don't know those opportunities until they come to us too, so maybe, yeah, there might be some options there for folks to consider. Anything else before we move on to our dumpster design review?
Rebecca, do you have a copy of our kind of strategic plan?
I do not, I just get the minutes and the agenda.
Gotcha.
I'm sure, maybe is that
Can
something
we-
you wouldn't mind sharing with her?
Yeah, do I have a current copy? I think,
It should be on our Dropbox.
Okay. Maybe after the meeting, you could share
Yeah,
your email address with me and
I
I
will.
can send you one. Yeah. Or you probably were on the thread, right?
I think she was, yeah, part of on the email.
Okay.
Oh, I
sounds
was
good.
on-
I can get your email.
Yes.
You may want to share it with Emily Harris also. So there is another new member,
Oh, okay.
Emily Harris. She just couldn't make it tonight. I think it was too short a notice. But so yeah, so now there's. Ooh.
Okay.
Look at
I
us.
think I know. Honestly.
Yeah.
And Helen
Good
was
job
reappointed.
telling people.
Right,
about it.
right, yes, Helen was reappointed.
Hey.
And then Laura was reapplied. Okay, so we're it's sweet, okay. So similar process, but I'll explain it, because we do have it in person. Basically, we have some dumpster art submissions for some murals to be painted on either 4 or 5 dumpsters in the city. We have 13 submissions that qualify. So we're gonna go through those, and we're gonna score them. So each of you will get one of these sheets. I'll pass it around.
I'd have some drums on it.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So 5 different. um, 5 different scoring categories. So total 25 points on each side. So I think we should probably go ahead and score all 13. I don't think it'll take too long, not as detailed and intricate as a mural. So we'll just go through each one. Emily was nice enough to actually put the titles at the top, which I did not do on the last one for you. We gotta help you a little bit. So we'll just take our time. You guys maybe kind of let us know when you're ready to move on to the next one, or do you want to do like we did last time, where we do a quick purview of all of them and then go back and do good ways to go? Okay, so we'll do that. It was really helpful.
So yeah, we'll just look at them and then we can look again and rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I will warn you, the second one
Just be-
is the door.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a little.
Oh, okay.
That's still number 1.
Oh,
So yeah, there should be 4
no.
images.
Oh, on each
Okay.
side. Yeah. Cool.
Groove bugle. It says be aware. Traditional clouds. Mhm.
It's really small.
Oh.
Oh,
hey.
That's funny.
Good for them.
Yeah, I know, they're
They're
putting it out there,
multifaceted.
that's great. That was
Yeah.
that was the same artist twice.
That was, so they submitted this as the mural concept as well last month.
Oh,
Right.
thank you.
So that's, so sorry,
Yeah.
context there.
He reacted.
was lost there.
Yeah.
The Helena Golden Glow. Helena Silhouette Evening.
How many do we have? There's 13, and then I think picking 4 or 5.
I think we should pick, for, like, in order, if we have the fifth one.
And a fifth could
Yeah.
be either
Yeah.
alternate or.
Yeah. Helena is home. Trash pandas.
Yes.
It is cute. Dumpster in Delft blue.
That's a good one. No, that was a good one.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what this word is. Opportunity to the stars. Somebody tried to do that. But you know that word? Bunchio? Ah, nice.
Oh, it is?
Really good, that makes sense.
This is another weird one.
Lotus.
Big boy.
It's a wrap around.
Frosty Flight. Wildflower. Is that right? Wildflower flow? Okay. And stylized.
Lady.
Okay, so you wanna go back up to the top and start scoring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, great. We're just scoring overall.
So there's 5, so each one of those you're gonna score, each
All 5
one,
lines.
and each one is worth 5 points, up to 5 points. And then you'll have a total of between 0 and 25 for each. So if I with that one. Okay. Number two, be aware.
Need some more time on this one, or should we move on to number three?
Okay, number three, traditional clouds. Have that one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, number four, the Helena Golden Glow. Okay, ready for the next one? Helena Silhouette Evening number five. All right, ready for the next one? Number six, Helena is home.
Can I ask a question? So what do you look for in a design that's potential for not having graffiti and vandalism?
I'd say like no large kind of single color areas, like anywhere that's kind of an invitation, like an open canvas, it's kind of a thought.
Thank you. Living on going up and down Rodney all the time, I just kind of think those beautiful new murals don't get vandalized because I think most taggers appreciate art. So, but at first I was really surprised they weren't.
Mhm.
So, and those are those don't have what you're saying.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I think the gestures dumpsters had one little tag, but the artist came back and fixed it,
Oh.
but that's the dumpster pine gestures, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's gotta ask for
Mhm.
it. It's asking.
You tell them what you're gonna get with these ones at government buildings.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really does seem like most artists kind of respect other artists and can find, somewhere really, think on Rodney especially, they've been given other areas that they can't tag, and so I think that kind of helps.
Does it say if these are going to be hand painted or like photo?
No, so with the submissions, what we got was the submittal form
Uh-huh.
and their designs, and that was it.
Okay.
And I think we kind of listed, or maybe there might have been listed that like latex paint or spray paint are kind of the preferred methods.
Yeah, I don't think we're allowing like decals, so I'm assuming that. I mean, if this is one of the top ones, we would make sure that it's gonna be painted and not like a decal or something.
Yeah. Spray paint up.
I've never seen any raccoons in hell.
I've never.
I never have either. That's why I gave it a 3. Program. It's cute. But it's cute.
What am I missing?
Oh, it's funny, I've never seen a raccoon.
I know, I was thinking about too, I'm like, I've never seen one.
I know they're here though, because my husband has some in his yard. He had one up in the pool.
Someone brought them in like the red squirrels.
Yeah, right.
Okay, good, right for the next one? Dumpster and devil. Okay, go to the next one. Yes. Number 9. Pretty fair to the stars. Why not? I don't know what I say.
I'm gonna guess that
Sleeping giant.
would be a sleepy giant.
I would, my guess would be that it would be like that. It's so, everything's so
Really?
geometric that it's like, it's a representation of it, but it'll probably still be triangular like that.
Okay.
Would be my
so two.
guess, but. When you scroll back up, I was curious, does the sleeping giant like switch profile? Like, is it like
The
something
mirror.
down? Okay. Gotcha.
Mm.
I was- Okay. The next. Alright, number 10 Lotus. Oh.
What's the name of this one?
Lotus.
Lotus.
For the next. Frosty Flight. Where is it? Okay, number 12. Wildflower Flow. Okay, and the last one. Alright, so you know that's done, it's just give me your scores all jotted down. So if this will be so a little bit make it easier to look at. Totally. Think so. Mandy, you'll go first?
Sure.
I want to read your totals of the cross list, right?
Yep, so for 1, I've got 17. 2, I've got 7. For 3, I have 18. 4, I have 6. 5, I have 11. 6, I have 17. 7, I've got 23. Number 8, I've got 25. Number 9, I have 17. Number 10, I have 25. For 11, I have 21. 12, I have 21, and for 13, I have 5.
Whoever wants to go next, you don't have to necessarily say number 1, 2, you just go down.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
21, 16, 19, 18, 20, 17, 22, 21, 16, 15, 20, 17, 12.
We'll be playing games first. Right, it'll go next.
Hello. 24, 22, 23, 16, 19, 19, 25, 24, 22, 23, 25, 11.
I'll go next. 16, 24, 20, 19, 19, 16, 20, 25, 17, 17, 22, 14, 15.
I had 21, 17, 21, 14, 18, 16, 23, 22, 18, 20, 23, 21, and 10.
And hold on a second, do you want to? Oh, there, so then we go to- so you can- how you doing? Okay, who's next? Okay,
23, 18, 24, 11, 21, 23, 24, 24, 22, 24, 24, 25, 17.
Ramsey,
18, 10, 20, 8, 9, 17, 23, 23, 21, 20, 22, 24, 8.
I can read it, is that easier?
No.
No?
Did you?
Okay.
That's worse.
I'm like to hear it and do it. That's what I read your scores. Yes. While she's adding, you want to have any discussion about any of it before we see the scores?
I'm happy with how many great submissions we got. Like a wide variety of artists too. And only one fire tower.
Yeah, that's-
Somehow I'm not divided on a dumpster though.
I really like that design.
I know,
The fire truck.
I like to too.
When it popped up, you guys all laughed and I thought, well, they must be tired of fire towers.
I have a personal issue with them that I'm working on.
That you're working on.
Maybe we start putting our outfit that were preferential to something different.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's just especially the single boxes.
Part of
Like,
our-
no, it doesn't, we don't need it on every,
It should be part of our bias training probably.
Yeah, exactly.
That we all have to go through.
I guess I could give you guys an update on where I'm at right now with the dumpster process, while she's doing that too. So I reached out to find out if the dumpster selection has to go through that same process of, does the commission have to approve that as well? I know that previously, like, I kind of alluded this to being very similar to the traffic single boxes. That never went through the commission in the past. But we know with all the process change, I needed to find out, right? So the clerk is also asking in her meeting, her one-on-ones this week, what their thoughts are on that. So I can't tell you today if this has to go through that process or not, but I will let you guys know, even if it's just sending an email. I'm not gonna meet wait until the next meeting, but if I find out, I did try to like, can we just get it on the same meeting with the other stuff? Cause we'll have that ready for the 6th. We just throw it in.
We're
there.
really prepared.
Like, we're gonna just take out half the meeting.
We are gonna just board.
I get the
computers
exact
and all of
night.
our tedium of just like. At a certain point, they're just gonna say, okay, just do what you want to do.
Change the rules.
Yeah.
So there's no-
Yes.
Those for the problem children, we're
That's
changing
like,
that
this
because
is
this
doing
is
a
worse.
lot. But I will let you guys know, but luckily there's not a lot of prep or anything for these artists, so it's not gonna be, not like the tunnel where the artist has to do a lot of preparation, especially if they're, coming from out of town. Yeah. But, and I get that the artists that are waiting to hear, they may have other things on burners that they're waiting to. Yeah, so, and the reason that I've been saying 4 or 5 is just because, and I don't know if somebody wants to help this. But I don't know how much it's gonna cost for the materials, like the primer and the sealer. So that, we have to make sure that there's enough money in the budget for that before we start paying the artists, so that's the only reason why it was about do have the funding
They're not.
to do all 5.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Do you have any of that kind of information from when you did
I
downstairs?
feel like we talked about it at a meeting. I have to go back through one of my documents and see where I kind of
Yeah.
noted that, but I remember looking and it was like, okay, I think the anti-graffiti sealant will cost this much. Cause I think it comes in like certain sizes, so it would kind of just size up to the next size, so you don't like run out.
Right, and I think that's probably what I was trying to figure out, like how much product it will take, so I can then find out how much we need and then get current pricing.
Mhm.
Cause they supply their own paint, but then we do the sealing.
And the priming, so we're doing the priming and the sealing.
Yeah, and I think us as a group, we were gonna, do that prep work, if for those of us who are available.
Mhm. Yeah, cool.
Which is different than for the murals, though.
Yeah.
For the murals, the artists
All
do
of
that.
They do all the
For you, they do the priming, painting, and sealing.
Okay,
Yeah, and for the dumpsters, it's just that all of their painting has to happen in a single weekend.
That's right.
Which I know for the Rodney, it's like they were all kind of working up against the deadline. Yeah, so I
It's
think
gonna maybe helpful.
exactly, just like one less thing, on the plate.
For sure.
okay.
Hey.
So pretty.
That's the number one thing.
I know.
It
It is the back, right?
is the most
Okay,
beautiful.
so that's what I thought.
Very Helena.
The back.
You have to just embrace, you have to learn to embrace that.
Look at that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I voted for it.
I did too.
I gave it a high score too, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful.
My issue with fire towers is when it's used without like an constructive way. They're just putting it there just to put it there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's over
Say
it.
Helena.
Yeah.
I don't mind fire towers.
If you're using it in like an artistic and unique way, like heck yes.
Yeah.
Okay, your second pick is Trash Pandas.
Yay.
We have that one at City Council.
I know,
And
I'm
so,
so.
the trash bin here at the county building is on in the south parking lot. And I literally, that's where I park. I park in front of. I park in front of the dumpster, so every morning I back up and I'm gonna see it. So I'm like, what do I wanna see when I'm backing up? I don't know if I wanna see it. Definitely not fire towers. Okay. Let me see. 155. Number 11, Frosty Flight.
It's third.
Was third.
The Delft one, what was the title of that?
Dumpster and Delft.
The blue one is number 8. Don't
Oh,
break
okay, it's all the way down here. Okay.
Another word I don't know. Delft.
Must be the
shade,
the color.
Oh, it's
Print.
like the.
Oh, it's the China print. That was the color. I love that.
Scroll. So, and then we have a tie for, oh wait, no, fourth is over here. Wildflower Flow. What number? Number 12.
Really? You know, I'm gonna tell you something. I was on the park board when they were putting on tiles into the skate park when they were first building it, and there was one that said something about Helltown. And they nixed it because it said hell. So I don't know if the skull will go through. That's the only reason I didn't give it a higher score, because I thought, man, somebody will nix that.
Yeah, but I guess, the one thought I had too was like with having a gun.
Yeah.
Might be.
Yeah.
But
But
there's a
that
flower
was my
in it.
concern. But this is one of my favorites. I love this.
I know.
It's a cool, yeah.
So
And it's-
colorful
Yeah, it just tracks your eye.
and it's different.
And I'm sure there's.
It's
We have
not a fire
lots.
tower,
Yes.
it's
Not a fire
something
tower.
totally different.
Probably not a fire tower or an animal,
Yeah.
or a bird.
Mhm.
They're pretty, but.
Or sleeping dragon.
Or a sleeping
Baby,
giant,
yeah.
yeah, something totally different.
Like totally different. A whole bouquet of flowers. They are.
Okay, for 5th, we have a tie with number 10, Lotus. Okay.
A long one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and the traditional clouds, so the bubbles.
Mm.
Mm.
The only reason I didn't score Lotus higher is because that's not, Helena. I mean, there's certainly not Lotus is in Helena next to the raccoons. So it's a beautiful design. Yeah.
And then, number 6 was Ruby Bugle.
Cool.
So Lotus was tied with number 3, which was the traditional clouds you said.
Mm-hmm.
Could we look at number 3 again? I'm trying to remember. So that
Let's
one
say
that
I'm
was
from
the
your
mural.
other artist.
They have the mural up.
The biggest and the smallest.
Yeah. Um,
So I guess on deciding our 5th favorite, would that be something that's kind of like a discussion to decide which
I
we?
think the whole thing's a discussion
Mhm.
for you guys. I just wanted you to know, like, scoring wise, kind of where you
Sure.
landed.
Mhm.
And I guess I'll tell you the 7th one, and then the rest are pretty low behind this one. The rest are pretty, I mean, they're not super far apart. Was the prickly pear with the stars, number 7.
No, I think the order's good.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty reflective. Yeah, I'm less worried about the relevance to Helena specifically, just because of, that's why we have so many fire towers.
Yes.
Is because we asked that question of, does this relate to Helena? And I think if we just didn't ask that question, we wouldn't feel pressured to make it about history or, it could be about art.
Yeah.
And
So I feel freedom
dumpster.
to just
Right.
kind of.
True.
It's not a mural, it's right downtown on the huge wall.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
as the
Say
new
this is
person, I was
Helena.
happy to answer the
Dumpster, you
question.
can do anything.
Yeah, you can be edgy. You can be edgier.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
you take the opportunity to do something.
Yeah, and embrace the kind of graffiti-like nature of a
Right.
dumpster.
Yeah.
And which I think both of those that we kind of tied with for 5, do that really well.
I think so.
Yeah, my highest for the appropriate for Helena were 2 of my lower scores. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
like,
yeah,
that's
it's great for Helena, but
question.
I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think dumpsters are, there's room for us not to have to think safely about this. And I think
Yeah,
it's-
thank you for
Whereas I think with the last mural that we scored, it was really thinking about it in terms of like, who is gonna be, like children are gonna be, around this all the time, adult, everyone of all ages, but yeah, I think dumpsters will be a little bit more playful.
I feel good about our 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Well, suppose we have to pick between the 5 then.
Mhm.
What would we, does everybody feel good with the 1 through 4?
I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I do too.
I'm sort of partial to this one just because this artist put so much work into their last submission
Oh, I
and they
thought.
clearly really want to do something.
Right. So
And I
that's,
feel
I,
like it fits really well.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
It's very vibrant.
yeah,
And
I
it's
really like.
very different than anything Helen has.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I say give it to them, let them,
Yeah.
let them do what.
They have a point of view, they wanna share it,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm into it.
And then maybe the wildflower artist will then submit that in some other form, somewhere else down the line.
So you want to move traditional clouds up to 4?
Up to
Oh,
5.
sorry.
We were tied for 5.
I know, but the wildflowers was number 4.
Oh, you're right, sorry, I meant the lotus. I got my flowers confused.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Lotus, number
The lotus.
So we'll put that at
Oh.
5.5.
Yeah,
Lotus is 5.5.
yeah, I think I would be comfortable with that as well, and especially since this artist, obviously wants to be a part, of doing public art in this town.
I love it. I move that we approve these 5 dumpsters in the order that we just decided.
Second. Well, with that, all in favor of approving, let's see, oh yes, and then I'm sorry, before you go into that, is there any public comment?
I completely agree with your list. I know you guys get sick of the fire tower because you see it all the time, but the average citizen, they don't notice. They're like, oh, that's neat. Oh, that's neat. Remember from day to day. And I also agree with your Lotus versus Bubbles, or what was it?
Yeah.
Clouds.
Clouds.
Clouds, that's what it is. I agree with the decision because the Lotus seemed to have a lot of blank space on it and would have been a huge target for graffiti. But I think it's a fun design and they should submit something in the future because it was really bright and colorful, just not the right fit.
So thank you, Paige.
That was fun. I'm glad I got to.
All right, well, all in favor of approving our top 5 dumpster murals? I'll quickly just kind of go through these. So for our number 1 place is number 8 dumpster in Deaf Blue, and our second place is Trash Pandas, and our third place is Frosty Flight, and our 4th place is Wildflower Flow, and our third place is traditional, or 5th place, getting my numbers mixed up, is traditional clouds. All in favor of those top 5 choices, please say aye.
Aye.
Great. Any opposed? All right, consider it moved. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for your craft.
All right, so I think we can kind of wrap up these last ones here pretty quick. Public art events and promotion opportunities. Is there any public art events coming up that anyone kind of wants to mention or kind of get on the radar or promotion opportunities?
So the Halter has free general admission until the 23rd. 2 more days.
And every Friday,
Oh, okay, I didn't know it.
every Friday. is
Oh,
free admission, And any art opening is
Very
free.
cool. It's good to know.
Yeah, does anyone know is Gold Rush Day is not happening this year? I haven't heard anything.
I don't know,
Last
Laura
year I
was
did more.
spearheading that, but I think she
Back.
stepped back, and I think it's growing confusing. And, I don't know, I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I haven't
about
heard
it,
anything.
But
It would have been like right about now, I think, if it was happening, February, March.
to launch.
No, I think for Gold
Or-
Rush Days is when they did it last year. Yeah, I think it was, or maybe it was April.
I thought it was, time was visually great.
Yeah.
Oh, which is May.
Yeah.
Oh, weird, I'm getting all my dates mixed up then. Well, then there's still a chance.
There's still, I don't know, she was a big powerhouse. There is an opening at Mernloy Jailhouse Gallery on Thursday, tomorrow, from 5:30 to 7:30, about the Bob Morgan artwork. And Kirby Lambert will be speaking, and Jennifer Bottom Looney, the Historical Society, will be speaking around 6. You're all invited.
Yeah, and as far as any communications announcements that we want to make, I think a lot of that will probably be contingent on just finding out after this admin meeting. Kind of how, or then the subsequent meetings, if what things get approved, and then how we can kind of start to promote these things and kind of get the word out. As well as kind of getting the word out for the community collab application. I think that will be really a big push. That'll be great to kind of ask everyone to kind of share that with anyone in their networks. And as far as items for our next agenda, does anyone have anything that they'd kind of like to put on next month's agenda?
Do we have anything planned?
I think just if all goes to plan, the community cloud applications, and so the thought was to kind of keep that, fairly open, and then I think in the following months, we can start to think about kind of future planning again, look at our strategic plan again, and just kind of make sure everything's up to date. As well as, kind of getting all of our back-end documents updated, so.
I think we just take a minute and pat ourselves on the back, because this has been like a sprint for the last 5 months, and we
Yeah.
have hit every single meeting. Like we've had a quorum every single time, and we have like met our timeline. So we're probably doing good. Thanks a village. So when we started this like slide, we were just like, oh god, this is a lot.
That's right.
But we did it.
We've arrived at the spot we predicted we would.
And we got 2 new members in the process.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
3 actually now, so we'll get to meet our clergy members.
Yeah.
Emily.
So thank you all for joining.
Seriously, I know. All right, and with that, do we have any more public comment before we adjourn?
Is the band shell is that a project you probably don't want to do murals back to back to back to back to back, but is that on the to-do list eventually?
Yeah, so our hope is that I think it's fiscal year 26 now. I believe it's kind of 25. But yeah, it's definitely
For next year.
yep, I think hoping for next year.
Oh, it is next year. Back to back to back.
Oh, yeah, just kind of building off of all of these successes, hopefully, so.
It's really nice. I mean, it's just really great to see all the murals that have gone up.
And the artists have been coming out
They,
to do
yeah, they
them.
have.
It's pretty great.
I think too, just the city being able to value artists and value, what their effort is worth is a
Yeah.
huge thing, and I think. At least I've heard from the art communities across Montana, it's nice to see that, people are getting paid, fair wages for. Very,
That's true.
technical work, so. Mhm. Well, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second. All right, so we're adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's Montana.